much sauce. Got too much sauce.
Beauty Ketera Couch, better known as Beauty K, wasn't just skating in 2023. She was building momentum, the kind people swear is unstoppable right before it stops. On that rink, she was presence, precision, and power all rolled into one. A voluptuous skater with real skill, not just vibes. She was quietly, and sometimes loudly, reshaping what people expected a skate influencer to look like. Every clip had intention. Every move had weight, and the internet, it was eating it up. Her videos weren't just going viral, they were circulating like proof of concept. Instagram, TikTok, it didn't matter. If your algorithm had eyes, it saw Beauty K. Followers climbed by the day, comments stacked up, and people started doing what people always do when they sense something big. They projected. She's next. She going mainstream. Brand deals coming. Hollywood might call. The future was being written for her in real time. Loud, glossy, and full of promise. And that's the dangerous part about momentum. It convinces everybody that tomorrow is guaranteed. Because while the world was busy watching her rise, applauding every spin and celebrating every milestone, something else was quietly unfolding behind the scenes. No spotlight, no filter, no applause. Just a slow, creeping shift that nobody in her comment section could see. And by the time it showed itself, the same audience that watched her blow up would be left trying to understand how a life moving that fast could come to a stop just as quickly. Welcome to the American Crime Femicide channel. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for future uploads. Beauty didn't enter this world quietly. She arrived as one of 6 children, already carrying a name that sounded like a promise her life would try its hardest to keep. Her mother looked at her and saw beauty, simple, pure, uncomplicated. And like most mothers, she probably imagined a future where that beauty would be protected, nurtured, and allowed to grow old. That's the part nobody tells you. The future you imagine for your child and the one they actually get are often 2 completely different stories. From the beginning, Beauty moved like someone who didn't come here to sit still. Dancing wasn't something she did. It was something she needed. It lived in her. At home, on the school bus, at talent shows. If there was space, she filled it with movement. It was joy, therapy, expression, all rolled into one. And like most gifts, it didn't take long for other people to notice. At first, it was just a small online following, nothing crazy, nothing viral yet. Just a handful of people watching a girl who clearly had something different. But then she made the mistake, well, the blessing of combining dance with skating. And that's when everything changed. Because now it wasn't just movement. It was control, rhythm, storytelling on wheels. People started asking questions. Who is she? Where did she come from? How is she doing that? Her following didn't just grow, it multiplied. And in the age of social media, multiplication is code for opportunity. Suddenly, Beauty K wasn't just a girl skating. She was becoming a brand, a presence, a rising figure in a world that chews people up just as fast as it celebrates them. And here's where life gets real funny. Because while the internet was busy putting her on a pedestal, Beauty was still doing something radical, something almost unheard of in influencer culture. She was living a real life. School, work, responsibility. She attended Cobb County Public Schools, pushed her way into Clayton State University, majoring in psychology like someone who actually planned to help people instead of just influencing them. She worked during the week as a dance director at the Youth Life Center of Arts, pouring into kids. On weekends, waitressing. Because dreams are cute, but bills don't care about your follower count. And still, she made it look easy. That's the illusion social media loves to sell, the highlight reel without the exhaustion, the glow without the grind. Because behind every viral video is somebody tired, somebody juggling, somebody pushing through more than they're showing. Beauty, though, had something else fueling her. Skating wasn't just content, it was survival. She said it herself. Skating saved her. It helped her cope, helped her escape, helped her breathe when life got heavy. Those 8 wheels weren't just equipment, they were therapy sessions, confidence boosters, and emotional lifelines all rolled into one. But of course, the internet couldn't just let her exist in peace. Because when a woman shows up confident, talented, and fully herself, especially in a body people feel entitled to critique, the comments come rolling in. And not the supportive ones. The kind that pretend to be honest, but are really just cruelty dressed up as opinion. People fixated on her size like it somehow disqualified her talent, like skill had a weight limit, like confidence needed approval, and beauty, she ignored them. Well, she tried to, because let's not pretend words don't land. They do. They always do. She admitted it herself. Sometimes it made her want to cry. Sometimes it made her want to quit. But she didn't, because for every loud hater, there were supporters reminding her that what she was doing mattered. And by August 2023, the numbers told the story. Over 100,000 followers, videos circulating, recognition building. She was one semester away from graduating, one step away from turning all that hustle into a career in child psychology, one step away from the life she had been working toward this entire time. And right when everything starts lining up, life introduces a man. Now let's pause here, because if you've heard enough of these stories, you already know this is where things start shifting. Not always immediately, not always obviously, but consistently. Because while Beauty shared her skating, her joy, her growth, she kept her relationship private. No full reveals, no couple posts, just hints. Enough to suggest someone was there, but not enough for people to really see him. That man was Eugene Louis Jacques, a 21-year-old who, on paper, didn't look like a problem. Athlete, skater, someone who seemed to share her world. He even moved to be closer to her, buying flowers, taking her out, doing all the things people like to label as romantic before they start calling them something else later. Because let's be honest, love bombing and romance often wear the same outfit in the beginning. Something changed between them. We don't get a clean, cinematic explanation. No neat timeline. Just a shift. Maybe he moved too fast. Maybe she saw something she didn't like. Maybe she realized what too many women realize too late, that not every man who shows interest deserves access. Whatever it was, it ended. And like a lot of endings involving unstable men, it didn't end peacefully. By August 23, 2023, Beauty wasn't posting. Now, for most people, that means nothing. But for someone consistent, someone building a brand, silence is loud. Her family noticed. Concern set in. And while they were searching for answers, first responders were responding to something else entirely. A brush fire. Not unusual on the surface. Fires happen. Cars burn. People move on. Except this time, the fire had a story. When firefighters arrived near Jerkins Boulevard and Landers Street, they found a vehicle fully engulfed in flames. They put it out, towed it away. Just another incident on the books. Until it wasn't. Because when police followed up on that vehicle, it led back to Beauty. And suddenly, this wasn't just a fire anymore. It was a missing person case. And then it got worse. Because when they searched the area around where that car burned, they found a body in the woods, matching her description. Let that sit. While the internet was probably still scrolling, liking, sharing old clips of her skating, Beauty was lying in a wooded area, her life already stolen, her story already rewritten into something tragic. Authorities didn't take long to connect the dots. Eugene became the suspect. Within 2 days, U.S. Marshals tracked him down in Louisiana, picked him up like it was just another routine stop. No drama, no resistance, just custody, charged with murder, aggravated assault, arson, concealing a death, tampering with evidence. The list reads like a checklist of destruction. And according to medical examiners, he used a sharp object to inflict multiple wounds to her upper body. That's not anger. That's rage. That's control. That's possession turning into punishment. And if convicted, life in prison, maybe even death penalty. But here's the part the legal system never really accounts for. None of that brings her back.
Nothing can fill that space.
No sleep. I see her face all day. I'm able to talk to you now without crying.
But there are little beacons of hope for the Brown family.
See that sun is shining. She's here.
She's Beauty Couch, a sister to Leela and Mario, but to thousands of followers, a champion skater. At only 22 years old, Beauty was found dead Wednesday in the woods, here next to her home. Police found the car she was driving engulfed in flames near Landers Street and Joe Jerkins Boulevard, across from these train tracks in Austell.
I felt like my heart was taken.
The family tried to put the pieces together for days until hope came. Cobb County Police announced that 21-year-old Eugene Louis Jacquet was arrested in Louisiana. He faces murder, arson, and aggravated assault charges.
I met him. I've known Eugene to be her boyfriend.
I talked to him one time. Bad news.
Beauty is Mario's baby sister. His only regret, that he couldn't protect her.
I felt blame. I felt like I could have been there for her a little bit more. Through it all, I feel like that she was trying to give me answers or trying to give me a sign that something was happening to her.
And now, in that same spot of Beauty's tragedy lays a sign of remembrance. Beauty's family honored her with balloons, flowers, and teddy bears, while disagreeing, as siblings do,
Death penalty.
on their different ideas about justice, that is.
I want him to look in those four walls and see her face. I want him to go to sleep and see her face. I want him to be able to not sleep and feel what we're feeling.
What Leela and Mario do agree on is their mutual call for Eugene to pay for his crimes one way or another.
To Eugene, if he's listening, I want you to remember my face, own up to what you've done, and take it like a man.
Hoping that if he does, Beauty can finally roll in peace.
Long live Beauty. Beauty is her name, and it's going to ring forever.
Justice might move quickly on paper, but grief takes its time. It settles in. It lingers. It reshapes families. Her loved ones are left asking the same question that echoes through almost every case like this. Why? Why not leave? Why not walk away? Why does rejection translate into violence for so many men? Because somewhere along the line, too many of them were taught or decided that if they can't have you, nobody can. And instead of dealing with their emotions like functioning adults, they turn into something else entirely. Something dangerous, something final. And now, Beauty's story sits in that same category, another woman who had everything ahead of her, reduced to a cautionary tale that people will share, react to, and eventually scroll past. But before that happens, let's be clear about what was actually lost. Not just a content creator, not just a skater. Beauty was a daughter a sister, a student on the verge of graduating, a mentor to kids, a young woman building something real in a world full of fakes, someone who chose to show up as herself even when people tried to tear her down for it. She was living, fully, loudly, authentically. And that's exactly what makes this hit harder, because she didn't shrink herself to be accepted. She expanded, and for that, she paid the price in a world that still hasn't figured out how to let women exist without consequence. May Beauty Ketera Couch rest in peace.